This is their ridiculous strictures, their authoritarian strictures. They have to at least enforce them evenly.
YouTube has finally made a statement. Have you heard this, Razor?
Demonetized her, right? Something like
yes. That? Yes. YouTube has demonetized her temporarily with a tweet. Says confirming SSSniperwolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. We're going to get into policies a lot today on the show, which is great. Off-platform actions that put other personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps move this conversation to a better place. So there's like them going like,
basically, shut up already, would you? That's literally what that was.
So first off, do you feel like demonetization for temporary? I mean, for all we know, it could be back, right? It could have been a day. It could be a week. Could be a month. Who knows, right? And we won't know because here's the reality of it. YouTube is still going to serve ads on her content. So this doesn't hurt YouTube at all. As a matter of fact, they're going to take a bigger piece of the pie because they've demonetized her content.
Still going to have ads. It just ain't going to pay out to her. Exactly. Yes. It works out just fine for them. Again, you mentioned Instagram. I pointed out on the last stream, they're owned by Facebook. Doxing, quite illegal on that platform, unless, of course, you happen to be Facebook. And I don't get how she still has an Instagram, if that's the case. Because, again, I want to stress this. I wasn't advocating her shit being taken down. I don't think any of these sites should be deplatforming people as often as they do. What I'm saying is, this is their ridiculous strictures, their authoritarian strictures. They have to at least enforce them evenly because they certainly demonetized my channel. I told you that story, right?
No. What happened? What happened here?
Several months before the 2020 election, I warned about mail-in ballots and said, hey, if there was a sketchy election, it would look like this. And so after election day, obviously people heard about this video and started sharing it around. And it got shared around so much, it got hundreds of thousands more views or whatever it got. And suddenly my whole channel gets hit for election disinformation from before the election took place.
Awesome.
So, apparently I traveled back in time to...
Can you show me your way? Someone do that.
Yeah, so if you're going to do that to people like me, who literally didn't do anything, you at least have to apply your policies evenly, is what
Listen, here's the truth. You don't have tits, therefore the rules do not apply to you.
Yeah.
That's literally it. All the hot chicks can get away with anything. Pokimane, Nadia, this other hoe, Leah.
Right.
It's all the same shit over and over again. Just different platforms.
No, absolutely. But what I'm saying is Facebook is so rigid in their terms of service. It's like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Like, you would think her Instagram would have gone down before anything. But that's the thing. This wasn't a coordinated deplatforming the way everybody else has been. When whoever, swing a dead cat, Alex Jones, Stefan Molyneux, whoever. You notice they always go down in, okay, their Instagram goes down first, then their YouTube, then it all goes down in unison because it's orchestrated, right? There's literally emails being thrown around. But when people actually point out somebody has actually violated terms of service, it's like, those gears grind awful slow all of a sudden. If they grind at all.
Well, we had a couple stories today having to do with terms of service and stuff. So like, sometimes they grind very slow depending on the creator, and sometimes they grind really fast. You get thrown in the meat grinder really, really quick. But so Sniperwolf,
I don't know if they don't bring her monetization back, she may be grinding on Instagram or honestly on OnlyFans at that point. Let's be real.
Kick and Twitch are like the open doorways towards OnlyFans. We can get away with some stuff,
right?
Yeah. Bam.
Absolutely.
I feel for her. Boob jobs and Botox don't pay for themselves.
Hey, it was pointed out in the chat that she actually has a second channel. TC says she has a second channel that YouTube didn't demonetize, so she's not like even 100% demonetized, which is totally shady. Yeah. I don't know. It's amazing to see.
It's still her channel, right? So that's crazy. Unless somebody else technically owns it.
So she posted an apology, which people are pointing out that it seems very much like it was written by ChatGPT.
Right.
Okay.
Honestly, it didn't even sound that way to me. It read like YouTube released it. Like they all got together and coordinated their statements so they could make this shit sandwich go away.
You nailed that shit so hard. I guarantee YouTube was they got together and they're like, what do we got to do about this? And they say, well, let's put together and you're going to release an apology, but our lawyers will write it, and we're going to slap you on the wrist, a little demonetization, and then in a week everybody's going to move on.
Yep.
It's like until somebody shows up at Jack's Film's house and for him going hard at SSniperwolf, and he's the one who's standing there without having to pick up the pieces.
Oh, please. He would have been tackled to the ground by armed men, beaten like Rodney King. Like, please. He'd be lucky to be alive if these roles were reversed. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Nailed it. So here's her response. And Blads, I'll say you go and read it because you're a girl, and I don't want to I don't want to sound like
my gender. I'm actually like somewhat insulted right now.
Right.
Anyway. Can I do this in a bitchy voice?
Yeah, that's why you're way more of a bitch than I am.
She's transitioning.
Yeah, I'm transitioning
into a cunt.
Come on. All right. Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It is inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jack's Film, YouTube, the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example for my appropriate conflict resolution. Jacksville, while we certainly didn't see eye to eye and have our differences, I feel like I'm Trump right now doing this. I am sorry for reacting the way I did when I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflict by communicating directly, respectfully, and privately, not for views or content, but a meaningful example of how conflict should be solved.
Wow.
I will reach out directly and hope we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. I'd also like to thank you two for holding me accountable. I deserve it, respect the decision, and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. I write this as I'm going to Starbucks.
Yeah, it's like, and then at the end, it's like, I'll have, she has her Starbucks order typed in.
Look at the word use. Lapse. Like you just trip and fall and dox somebody and find out their address and end up on their front. Like, what? Do you have any idea how much planning that takes? How far out of your way you have to go? By her own admission, he was 5 minutes away. Right?
Yes. It is so fascinating to see. Like, she's never used any of these words before in her life. Communicate.
She can't spell those words.
I'm half expecting her to end it with, I'm so sorry for any injurious consequences I made.
Or something like, I'm sorry Jack's Films was upset. Like,
I'm sorry he was upset about
I'll
his
translate
being at risk.
No, bro, I'll translate that entire block of text. I'm deeply sorry I got caught.
Yes, bingo, exactly. YouTube was upset at me. It's just so amazing to see the response to this, and she's getting obviously ratioed in the best way possible, rightfully so. And YouTube is too, and it's so amazing to see how when people talk, there's no two-tiered system. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, look at this scenario, this wonderful scenario where you have somebody with 36 million subscribers, and they get a slap on the wrist. This is a wonderful metaphor for the world that we live in. And if you don't think this is the case, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's just such an eye opener for people. Just
more of that male privilege.
Yeah, right. It's funny because somebody pulled up her social blade, and was like,
does that even work anymore? I thought that stopped working or something.
I don't know, but so someone pulled up her social blade, and she lost like 100,000 subscribers or something on a day.
Jesus.
Yeah. And she's what once again is a drop in the bucket when you have 34 million subscribers, right?
Well, that's still not a small number of people. That's a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And that's the people who are upset on Twitter. But the reality is that most people don't care. And they didn't even know the story happened, right?
And even fewer know.
Of course. Yeah. And so someone took the 100,000 screenshot and was like, that'll teach her. And it's like, No, she didn't. She's not gonna learn anything from this at all. And if she had to do it again, what's it? Bad publicity is great publicity, right? I think that's the idea. And now more people know who she is than before. And she ultimately won.
Right.
Congratulations.
Oh, the lesson she'll take away from this is if I want to ruin someone's life, I'll go through intermediaries now, right? I'll like hire a private detective to follow them around, have a friend I'm not connected to, go harass them, like literally. I'll tell you, that's what sociopaths take away from situations like this.
But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.